Hello boys and girls, Chaplain Scottsville here, still down in the Mississippi Delta visiting family, although by the time this update gets uploaded to YouTube, I'll be back in Kentucky, the other God's country. But I did want to make sure I got a prophecy update out this week. So just a few things to think about. If you're watching the news at all, you're probably already aware of these things, and hopefully together we can figure out how they might relate to Bible prophecy, especially as it relates to end times developments. Now obviously the things we talk about aren't specific prophetic fulfillment, but what we can say is that the stage is certainly being set. And thinking about what my friend who is now with Jesus, Jack Kinsella, used to say, given all the directions anything could possibly go, isn't it interesting that they always seem to go in the direction predicted by the Bible? So thinking about some recent happenings in just the last few days, we see a temporary pause in fighting between Israel and Lebanon, Hezbollah in particular. Now this is just a pause, but it's something that President Trump appears to have worked out and really enforced upon the two nations to agree not to shoot at each other for the next 10 days. And how does that relate to Bible prophecy? Well, maybe not very directly, but when we think about the peace that the Antichrist is going to bring to that region one of these days, the Bible gives us every reason to believe that it will be a peace that is enforced or forced upon Israel and her neighbors. And so it's interesting to see things developing, even if it's just a small piece of the pie, so to speak. And also the British Prime Minister and the French Prime Minister this week have been meeting, or will be meeting maybe this weekend, to discuss how to secure the Strait of Hormuz. And one nation that's not invited to the table is the United States, which I find interesting because ultimately the center of Western power is going to be in a revived Roman Empire, or in the Western Europe region of the world. And we also believe, or many of us anyway, believe that that's where the future Antichrist is going to arise out of. So it's interesting to see nations in that part of the world trying to take on more of a leadership role, because one of these days, somehow, some way, if Bible prophecy is true, and I certainly believe it is, the United States would seem to have to be sidelined. A lot of prophecy teachers believe that will happen after the rapture, that America will be left decimated. I'm not sure it's going to take the rapture to do that. I think God could bring about those necessary conditions at any time, given the way things are going in the world today. And then of course something I mentioned in a recent prophecy update about UAPs and UFOs and space aliens, and the disappearances of scientists and other experts in that field, and some who have not only disappeared but some who've been killed. And it's just, to me, that's just not coincidental, but we'll just have to wait and see how all of that works out. So just a quick prophecy update from the Mississippi Delta, the original God's country, and I'll be back in Kentucky next time, the other God's country. So thanks for listening, and hope you have a blessed day. Remember, keep fighting for joy and keep looking up. God bless.